Now, as you're reading your story, I'm sure you've all seen the old-fashioned clothesline with a prop at either end and a string between, and you put wet laundry on it and it goes down and down and down in the middle. You get a clothesline, you get a prop and put it up so that it doesn't touch the ground. Well, stories can do that a bit, kind of sag in the middle. And there is an idea that if it's a mystery story, just bring on another body. But that doesn't necessarily sort the problem. Maybe you're bogged down in too much explanation, too much emotional conflict that has not enough to do with the story. You need to sort out the saggy bits, and there almost always are saggy bits. What can you do? How many scenes actually do nothing? And this can really hurt. You can feel as if you're chopping off your own arms and legs. But go through and mark on the side of the page every scene that your story would stand up without it. And you have at least two choices. One is make that scene count. Do something that we discover about somebody or something that is new and exciting and makes us want to keep turning the pages and reading it, or cut it out. I've had to cut out chunks I thought were marvellous, but I realised eventually that, well, if I were reading this and it was for somebody else's, I'd skip that bit because it doesn't go anywhere. And it can be very difficult because perhaps there are witty conversations, perhaps there are lovely descriptions of places, but if the story can stand up without it, then it should do. Or make it count. Think of some other thread that matters. This is where you sometimes get information dumps, as they're called, where you're giving the reader a whole lot of information in great big indigestible chunks. It needs to be dramatized. It needs to be shown, not told. And be sure that all the information actually is necessary. Maybe the backstory we need to know, but we might need to know it in tiny little droplets so that we can absorb it and come to the conclusion ourselves so that it's a revelation, not just suddenly a great big chunk. Imagine a flood. If you get 20 inches of rain in one day, it's going to do a lot of damage and destroy a lot of things. If you get 20 inches of rain over half a year, it's probably very good. Readers are not stupid. They don't need hitting over the head with stuff, but they do need to have the actual information, even if it's in little bits and they connect it up later on. Look at the page of a book of somebody else's that you're reading and see if there are great big blocks and whether you read them or you don't. You'll find many people don't. So if you wouldn't read it in somebody else's, take it out of your own as well.